Back, guys, once again to the Pulse, where we talk about lots of stuff. Hi, that was me talking.
No, that was actually me.
What, you do a better MrBitter impression.
You like than us too, Ben?
Next level. Next level stuff. All right, man. We've had a lot of fun so far on the show. Talked about the HOTS beta changes. Talked about TSL disbanding. About StarTale losing parting. About Major joining Team 8. And we also hit on the whole ESF versus Kespa thing. Interestingly enough, you guys spoke out in a big way about ESF versus Kespa. Lauren, how did the votes go?
That's right, guys. The question was, what is a bigger Korean drama right now? The answers are in. You guys voted C, Kespa versus GOM, with 49%.
Now, this is a little misleading because Major, if he kept his Twitter alive,
would have been able to tell his followers.
Yeah, he would have been able to bring them in. Yeah. But
so that's really cool. It actually surprises me a little bit because I sort of figured the big team moves. If you combine that, it's still not as much.
That's true.
As
well, I think it's more the Squirtle thing happened today as well, and that's on people's minds.
True. So anyways, I do want to keep it moving forward. Over the past several years, we've seen a multitude of different formats in competitive esports, outside of esports, and actual sports. Best of 3, best of 5, best of 7s, extended series. Who the hell's idea was that? And
hey, man.
Someone who eats Taco Bell sober.
As a mathematician, I agree with the extended format. I'm just going to put it out there. But as a viewer, I don't.
Yeah, it stinks. Yeah.
It's hard to tell a story.
As a viewer, it stinks.
It had a history.
As the winning player, it's awesome.
It's awesome. But, I mean, if you think about it, I'm just going to go into
we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
That's another topic for another show.
The question right now, guys, Proleague has recently blown up. Everybody's been enjoying it. I've been enjoying Proleague. They are running Clan War style best of 1 formats, and I assert that best of 1 makes for better viewing because it opens up a wider range of gameplay. I want to kick it out to you guys. Is it better for the viewer to have best of 1? What does it do to competition? Let's go.
Well, you want to tell the best story. That's the best for the viewer. And in a team style format or all-kill format, yeah, 1 versus 1 is cool. It tells a really interesting story. Very intriguing to see you have one chance to beat your opponent. Where does it go from there? But it also shows off the type of strategy necessary on who you pick for your lineup. It reminds me of baseball. Your first 3 hitters, those are your quick hitters. They get on base, but your 4th hitter is your cleanup hitter. They're able to get them all home. And you kind of make some variables depending on who you're playing in the lineups. So it's a part of the strategy that I find very intriguing. But it all comes down to what's the most entertaining thing to watch. We want to see the best in terms of matches, also in terms of strategy. I feel it works definitely for Pro League, but it's not going to work for a 3-day event or even divisional events where best of 3, best of 5s, even best of 7s in the finals tell the best story.
If we had an NASL Season 4 all over again, we took all 45 players, and instead of having our group play like we did, what if we had 45 best of 1s?
I think it would be terrible because we're actually playing online, and best of 1 online is just way too random. I mean, if you're going to have crossover play, how are you going to solve that? And just in general, I mean, if they know in advance who they're going to play, then it's going to be perhaps sort of okay, but then you really have to region lock it. Then you have to region it, but you have to region lock it. Otherwise, it's way too random and it means absolutely nothing.
But let's say we did region lock it.
So we got 45 guys in-house. They're all here.
Issues.
There is no lag.
Yeah.
We have LAN support. We're playing the most perfect version of StarCraft possible.
Then if you have 8 games a night, I say yes. If you're going to have 4 matches a night, no, absolutely not. Because you can actually have you can be done in a broadcast within 45 minutes. Who cares
about the time of the broadcast? I'm talking about the gameplay. If you do it like that, is it okay for the gameplay?
I don't feel it tells a proper story. The best of 3 tells a better story than a best of 1.
I prefer the story of the underdog coming in with a bizarre one-time only build and then upsetting the favorite. That's what I like.
I think it also partially comes from the fact that Kespa also has really weird maps. Bifrost is really cool because of the small, open Tal'Darim-like choke, but a really small little edge that rings around the entire thing. Chaldeum was cool when they changed it. Neo Chaldeum is actually looking really cool. Planet S I like a lot.
Arcanine kind of sucks.
Arcanine is really good for Terran, really bad for everyone else. It's really cool to see this format because upsets can happen. Although I don't necessarily agree with giving Thorzen the MVP, but watching him being able to upset and making a cool play against Classic in the TVT on Arkanoid, that was really cool. Seeing Thorzen being able to compete, prepare something very specific in order to be part of the team. This is not just Team Tasia. It's not just Team Flash. Although in all Kill League, it is kind of Team Flash. But in certain scenarios, in this scenario, it's awesome to see the underdog win. And it doesn't happen. You know, in StarCraft II, people were complaining about maps. They became too predictable. It became like whoever had the more generic safe style would win all the time. Not in this case. Best of 1 is really exciting. But Ben, Best of 1's been around for a while, man. GSTL's been doing it. Why aren't you excited for that?
What? Dude, Best of 1's been around longer than that. Look at American football. Look at any real sports competition. Why do you laugh at this? Why do you laugh at this? If
I'm scoffing.
If the billions of dollars we spend on professional sports can say, "Hey, Best of 1 rocks," why are we so scared of
your
it?
Best of 1 scenario is you have 4 downs, and that's it to touchdown. The other team has the same opportunity, and that's it. That's the end of the game. No, you have an entire story that goes back and forth between these two teams on the football field. With a best of 3 or best of 5 or best of 7, you have that back and forth. You get to see different strategies, different personalities evolve in different build orders.
It's just very situational. I really don't think there's much to argue about. For Pro League, it works because it's cool, it's fast-paced, we see player after player, there is some strategy as well. And in the certain format, players know in advance who they play. So yes, you know which map you play, you know who's going to be your opponent. Then playing a best of 1 is pretty damn exciting because it's less random. But in a weekend tournament like an MLG, like even an NASL or IPL, IEM, whatever, I really wouldn't want to see best of 1 all the way to the finals. It would just be way too random. I mean, NBA and NHL isn't played best of 1 either.
Let me just explain a little bit, because some people might be a little bit lost why we're talking about best of 1 and it being so random. Just take like a best of 7, and let's say someone's up 3-0. When they go into that 4th game, the person that's winning, they're thinking, I can do anything that I want. I can cheese. I can go for macro games. I can pull out these builds that work like once in a million years and have it work here because I have so much leeway behind that. Now, you bring in that same concept, but now both players can do the same thing because it's just a best of 1, because all I have to do is win this one. No matter how good my opponent is, I can still win. And that's why I feel like it's great for the viewer. And I would be so ecstatic if NASL somehow was able to incorporate best of 1 fairness into our league. I really feel like it's the best way for the viewer to discover StarCraft.
I feel it's definitely possible to get to run our league in a best of 1 format, but then A, you have to region lock it at all costs because cross server would be completely unfair, and B, you're gonna have to have more matches a night, and C, I would like to see players play more than once against each other in a season, because if you have MC and Tasia in the same division like we had, would it really be cool to only see them play 1 time in the entire season with the NASL in best of 1? No, I would like to see them play 4 times the best of 1, but then also with 2-week break in between.
Yeah.
That's okay. Really cool. Well, so there's a point accumulation or something.
Like club soccer.
One determination.
How that is, you know, I played against the Fireballs week 1 and then week 6, and I'm gonna smash them, and it's like a best of 2, weirdly.
That's really cool, man. And so why not raise the question? Why are we so afraid to move away from best of X?
Because it can be too random. Because we like to have cross server play. Because we like to see North Americans, and you cannot play a best of 1 cross server. It's completely unfair. It's unreasonable. You can never ever do that.
I'm just gonna do micro builds every single time.
Golf is played over 18 holes. It's different for every game. You can't make comparisons just from one. StarCraft is done.
It's situational, but also
I think LAN environments, people should be thinking about doing that a lot more. MLGs, I think, have the ability, even though it is a lot of randomness, I think they have the ability to incorporate something like that, or even invitationals.
But when WCG does best of 1, everyone gets mad. What the hell? This tournament is so stupid. It's best of 1 in group stages.
Well, that's just because that's what you know, it's this thing that we've been fed for so long. It has to be this, but otherwise it's no good.
It's also because it's random, like in a Proleague. Sorry.
Right,
okay, go ahead.
There is that randomness, but how awesome was WCG when we had that great run that Cass made? That was so exciting to watch.
That Cass made?
Cass?
No, not Cass.
Parting? I mean, no, Combat X.
Oh, Combat X!
No, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, that was so cool!
Yeah, then you talk about Cass.
Okay, I am talking about Cass.
Yeah, but that was like not random. Cass was just legitimately very good, and in the playoffs they do play best of 3. There was nothing like because of the format. I don't think a best of 1 in a tournament like WCG is good because they just know a few days in advance who they play and who's in that group, and that's completely different than Pro League where they know 1 week in advance, and that's why you see those cool strategies that you're talking about.
But you also have to look at an organizational position too and how you broadcast it to an audience. If it's just a one-on-one match and that's it, game over, well, that was a fun 6 minutes, now it's over. The hype, it gets killed pretty quickly. But if you have a show match of a best of 5 or a best of 7, of course it's all situational.
Yeah.
But those more matches in tournaments, that is like a weekend tournament is great. But, you know, team formats, Pro League, it's perfectly fine because it's not just one match. It's 5 plus matches.
I mean, this is what Best of 1 does. It extends the ranges, right? It could be an awesome game that's super complex, very well thought out. It could be the dumbest game ever as well. But I think a way we can kind of hedge the dumb games is have good maps. And that's why we really need to focus on our map scene and try to get the best maps so we don't encourage those dumb games.
So we just need Crevasse back.
You would really like buying.
So we don't encourage.
All right. That's enough on best of 1 versus best of whatever. You've heard our part, guys. We want to hear yours. Lauren Lease, what's up? What's up, girl?
Guys, let us know what you think. What do you think is more entertaining to watch? Pro League Best of 1 or NASL, MLG, IPL Best of 3, 5, or 7? A or B?
What about
Vote
Best of 2?
Now.
No.
That's the 4.
Oh, God. Let's just play the commercial.
Yeah. Oh, it's not going?
Best of 2.